Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, friends, and welcome back to another episode. Was that cheesy enough, Jacob? I'm measuring out the length of the handle here. I'm going for about 4.5 inches. Give me a little bit extra. We'll just cut it off right there. Give me about 4 3/4 of an inch. I can always cut off excess if I need to. And this is actually going to be the frame of the handle. By frame, it's really like a false tang, a false full tang. And this will be sandwiched in between the walrus ivory. I wanted something that's just really simple and doesn't draw your attention for the frame, so that it highlights the handle material that I want to, which is the walrus ivory. So first thing I'm going to do is trace the walrus ivory onto the black G10 so I know how much handle material I actually have to work with. Right? So I can draw any shape that I want to within this area. So I want to have a handle it's fairly straight up until the end, and it's got like a bird's beak rounded off, not pistol grip, but somewhat pistol grip shape to it. So I'll come down here, and this is just a rough drawing frame of reference to what we're gonna do here. We have a nice pistol grip type bird's beak thing to it here. And we'll go for something like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this handle material, but I'm not going to be doing it on my wood cutting bandsaw. G10 will actually throw sparks. It will destroy a wood cutting blade. However, G10 is super easy to grind and drill and all of that stuff. It's a really neat material. It's nice to use, except for when you're trying to cut it on a bandsaw. So I'm going to use my Portaband, which has a metal cutting blade. I think that'll do. As I was cutting that G10, I realized that I had some black paper micarta, which would actually be better. It's funny how things work like that. My mind is a little sporadic and I don't remember things really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace that handle material, cut this out, and we're going to do the exact same thing. You know what? It's gonna be easier to grind this to shape. Forget cutting it. I'm at a fairly good point right now with this ivory. Is kind of nervous working with it, just because of the cost of this, and of course it's fossilized walrus ivory, so it's not like you can go buy it at Walmart. But this isn't the first time that I've worked with fossilized ivory before, so that made it a little bit easier. Basically what I'm trying to do is thin down the scale to where I can heirloom fit it to this bolster without having to grind off too much off the top, because you're trying to preserve this top. If you look here, the coloration that comes from the decomposition and the bacteria over the years is only really shallow. So if you actually grind into the top, you get into just regular cream colored ivory, and you don't have the colors that come with fossilized ivory. So you want to grind from the bottom. And I'm trying to get that thinner so it fits there and it's not just a bulky clump. But when you grind from the bottom, you're also reducing the width. So what I was doing was constantly checking to make sure that this still fit in this width. You know, I'm finding a happy sweet spot between thickness and width. You have to be really careful that you don't get too carried away with that. So I think that these two pieces are ready now for their next stage in the handle making process. But now I'm going to go back to the frame, and I'm going to start thinning down the thickness of this frame, because this frame needs to be the same thickness as this tang, which is 3/16 of an inch, and right now I think this is at 3/8 of an inch. So you can see how that's starting to work, but it needs to be thinned down. It's not steel.
Did you just break it? Oh, Liam, no.
Alright, so I totally just broke that off the surface grinder. It was stupid of me to try to rip it off by this thin piece here. You know, I should have grabbed it right there, but it's really not a big deal at all. If I had done something like that to the ivory, it would be a big deal, but just reminds you that you got to pay attention to whatever you're doing. So my card is cheap, and it won't take me long at all to remake this, fortunately. I'm going to do that tomorrow, though. It's getting kind of late here, and I've been working on this knife for 12 hours today, so I'm going to take a break, pick back up on this tomorrow morning sometime. Really quickly make another one of these, and we'll get back to that knife handle.